All night long, let's talk, text and tweet whatever the topic we're having a chat about. Be a part of the action on 131332. Tonight, it is Midweek Media Review, and we can't ignore the imminent leadership challenge that is just being mooted about the place at the moment with some Queensland players and WA players, and even Senator Jackie Lambie joining into the conversation tonight with us on that. Nick Hayes is with us now from the media stable. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening, Walter. This is what it's all about. This is why I work in media. This has been a week of just media joy for us. It's absolute the fodder.
You're a pig in mud.
I'm a pig in mud. I'm dancing a happy dance. I'm doing the happy jig everywhere. It's just exactly what we live for in media. Yeah. Even though for many of us out there, we just want to see this sort of debacle of Australian politics just come out of it.
Well, we want to see it resolved. Look at the confusion that's happening in Queensland politics at the moment. The front cover of the Courier Mail today was a cartoon. I don't know if you've seen it, and it's one of the best cartoons they've ever done, and it was of an alien spaceship landing a UFO. Out comes the alien. He looks at a couple of Queenslanders, and he says, "What do you mean you can't take me to your leader?" It's perfect.
I love cartoonists. I absolutely adore them.
Yeah.
They capture the real feeling.
They do.
It's just what
it's gold.
Media does.
It's absolutely gold. Well done to that cartoonist.
Yeah. Look, it is a debacle, and look, we can't avoid not talking about it, and even though some of us would probably like to see it disappear, but there is just so much going on at the moment, and it is all being played out in the media. The media is the platform. It's the stage for which this is all taking place, and it's still just the beginning of it all. And one might say that what happened over the weekend in Queensland and what's going to happen in Sydney, in New South Wales, come March, we've got a very, very big couple of months of media, and that's just state elections. We've got the federal, the issues that are going on federally that are just taking part not every day, Walter, it's every hour. There's something new and
some new development. This time last night, we had Julie Bishop saying she wasn't going to contest for the leadership. But, of course, having said that means that it doesn't mean that someone else on the backbench can't nominate her for a leadership.
Let's be under no illusion here right now. What is happening in the media is exactly what is going to be the future spill, because this is exactly the hallmarks, all the hallmarks of what a spill is about is being played here. The cards are being played by Julie Bishop.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen it all before with Labor. We were hoping we wouldn't see a repeat of it with the LNP, who promised us this wouldn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are the things that are just playing out as if we haven't learnt anything. And these are the things that are happening right now. And we just keep going back to what we know. And unfortunately, we are the losers here. The electorate, the people listening, we're the losers.
That's it. The taxpayers are the losers out of this. Kerry's joining us, wants to join in the conversation. Good evening, Kerry. Which part of Sydney are you calling from?
Bexley.
All right, nice. And what would you like to say about the leadership challenge?
I like to say thank you for taking my call, and good evening, Walter and Nick. Is that correct?
Yes, our pleasure. We tried to chat to you before the break, didn't we?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I
need a little bit of time. Now, I am a 74 years old man. I came to Australia in 1964, so I've been here now 50 years, but my accent, of course, is still...
Still quite strong.
Yeah, quite strong. Anyway...
I bet your friends in the old country don't say that. They say, you sound like an Aussie.
Yeah. Now, what's happening at the moment with the federal government, what I understand, they have a very serious problem as far as the economy is concerned. The previous government left them this problem, and now they cannot sell, what they have to sell to the public. To explain exactly what the problem is, what I understand, we pay $1 billion interest per month at the moment. So if this thing will go on for a few more years like that, then naturally, and on this beautiful country of ours, that I have spent so far 75% of my life become like the country I was born, Greece.
Oh, let's hope not. It's in a mess, isn't it? It's a basket case, Greece.
Now we have a new government, as you know.
I know.
But, it's a completely mess anyway.
A tireless government, yes.
Anyway, so as a good citizen, I'm a self-funded retiree, okay? And I'm not a millionaire. My personal net income is around $33,000 per year. So I make the following suggestion, my friend, that we should pay a levy, all the working people. According to my research, we have...
Another tax, Kerry.
Well, look...
Call it what you will. A levy is a tax.
I explain.
Yeah.
When Howard collected guns, we pay a levy, did we? You remember that?
Right, yes.
Then we had the floods in Queensland, we pay a levy. Well, the sky or the stars didn't fall down, we managed that, Now, we have to accept responsibility, all the good citizens. Now, we have 11.5 million people working in this country at the moment, plus over 1 million self-funded retirees like me that we are not working, but we still pay taxes from our income.
So tell us what's your levy idea, Kerry, because we've got other callers lining up would like to have a chat too.
I'll be quick. So my idea is this. If people on 100,000 gross income and under can afford to pay, say, $500 per year for 2 years or a little bit more maybe, and then people from 100,000 and over to pay $1,000. The government will collect each year between 8 billion and 10 billion. Say 3 years, then we're going to reduce the debt to a manageable, figure. Okay. And then, of course, they don't have to do all these changes that they are unpopular, like the Medicare changes, like the universities, like...
Your idea is to tax the so-called rich who are already having the heck taxed out of them as it is. 100,000 after tax ain't $100,000, I can tell you. Nick, we've done the figures here, and you drop about 30 or 40 grand straight up. Eddie, good evening.
Hey, Tom, a couple of things. The first thing is, we've got to go back to the old ways when we went to school. We had this bit of paper and we had some whiteout.
Yep.
Let's get rid of a couple of zeros on the end of it, and that might fix it. But seriously, what we've got to do is bring in a law so that when candidates make a commitment or make a promise, that they've got to be upheld.
Wouldn't it be nice, Eddie? Do you agree with that, Nick?
I totally agree. But you know what, Walter? You know what we've done, Eddie? We've created an electorate that just expects. It wants. And we've created politicians now that are just selling, but they've got really nothing to sell. And so they come back and say, well, hang on, it's not the situation. I can't give it to you now. So almost the politicians, yes, we can blame them, but we've got to also look at ourselves.
Absolutely.
And what we expect. Because we're the ones that are voting in these politicians. We should be the ones that are held accountable for voting these people in that don't deliver. And if they don't deliver, I'm with you, Eddie. If they don't deliver, then there should be something, a document that says you haven't delivered, you're out. And
let's start up a petition.
Yeah, okay, start up a petition. All right, thanks, Eddie. I think Eddie's after some sort of performance review and a petition. Two big P words tonight. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more of Midweek Media Review with our media commentator, Nick Hayes, and taking your calls on 1332. We'll talk to Derek next. Things in the media, and I try to ignore it. It's too huge to ignore, as someone once sang, Tony Abbott's leadership challenge. Nick Hayes with us. So is Derek. Good evening, Derek. You would like to be PM, would you?
I'm applying for the job. The only thing is, I have to go to Lowe's to get a new pair of shorts because these have got coffee stains all over them. And if I turn up in Parliament dressed like a hobo, they might turn me away.
All right.
But I've collected, no kidding, seriously, I've collected, because of my tax difficulties, around about $1 billion in fines and taxes evaded over the last, say, 2 years, right?
Yes.
And I've got all the reference numbers listed from the tax department. I've been round to the places that I've jobbed in, and they now have nice new cash registers with shiny GST shining all over them. In fact, one chemist shop I jobbed in, who put a $100,000 computer system in after I jobbed him in, about 2 weeks later, shouted out to all his customers in the shop, I'm connected to the tax department now.
Okay. Is it a full moon tonight, Nick? Is it? I'm just wondering. I'm trying to follow Derek's thought process there.
Either that or we're getting everyone from the Storybridge Hotel calling in. And
it could be.
The line.
It could be. Good evening to the Dearies who run the Storybridge. Okay, let's move on from that. Scott, hello. Are you more coherent than Derek?
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell that was either.
Good,
actually.
thank you. It's not just me.
Yeah,
good.
I've just found another poll, and this is one of many. It's a Channel 9 online poll, and the question is, if Malcolm Turnbull became leader, would they be more likely to win the next election? 33,000 are saying yes, and only 19,000 are saying no. And I know that that's just an online poll. I know it's only Channel 9, but this again is in line with every single poll since Tony Abbott came in that said that Malcolm Turnbull is double as popular, is liked by the centre, the left, and some of the right. I know that the far right lunatics don't like him, but I mean this guy appeals across the board. And here we are debating on whether to keep Tony Abbott in power because we don't want to be like Labor. I just don't
But Scott, even Tony Abbott was winning opinion polls before he got elected. Once someone becomes elected, that's as soon as they start becoming unpopular.
No, Tony Abbott was elected as the most unpopular Prime Minister to ever come in on day one. He was 44% when the day
I know, it was a pathetic figure, but it was better than Rudd's.
No, it wasn't. Rudd came in at 76%. Like, that's just simply not true.
Just by the vote, it was better than Rudd's. Let's face it. I mean, Rudd didn't even hold his own seat.
No, I understand that. But look, what I'm saying is that Tony Abbott has come in not because he won, but because everybody wanted Rudd gone. Like, it was the protest vote, and then he's come in like a steam train, and literally, like, anyone that says that last budget was fair is just kidding themselves. It literally was. I mean, there's been two in-depth reports into it, plus numerous, examples of it, and yet Joe Hockey was asked that again yesterday, and he says, well, is it fair to leave our children with burdens of debt? What has that got to do with a budget that was aimed at the unemployed, the disabled, the elderly, etc.? It has absolutely nothing to do with the debt. We all, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't even explain it now or even acknowledge that he got it wrong. Like,
yeah, but wouldn't it be good to see just one of our leaders actually go full term, Scott? Wouldn't it be nice just for a change?
It would be nice, yes. But you know what? Malcolm Turnbull was the leader that the people wanted, and Tony Abbott was the leader that the caucus wanted, and they got it wrong. They now have a chance to give the people the leader that the people want, and here we are again trying to say, no, you're not. We're not listening to the people.
Are you saying Malcolm Turnbull hasn't got the support of the caucus then?
No, they don't like him. I mean,
okay. So how is it going to work as he's leader if they're going to be white-anting him while he's leader? It's not going to work, Scott. Thanks for the call from Beverly Hills tonight. And normally we only get calls from Beverly Hills when we're talking with our celebrity gossip man, Craig Bennett, but not tonight. Okay, Nick Hayes with us from the media stable. Nick. We've got more calls coming through on this. Sally.
Yes, hi there. I think there might be a bit of a push on for a republic.
Oh, okay.
I really do.
Why not? While we're putting Turnbull in as PM.
I think Malcolm Turnbull, isn't he a Republican? I think so.
Well, you might be right.
I am right.
Yeah.
And this is what it's all about.
You think that's the push?
And they're mad that Tony Abbott got tangled up with the royalty put in Prince Philip then. They just couldn't
That's upset
it.
the Republican movement in the LNP.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's an interesting theory.
I don't actually think that actually upsets just the Republican movement. I think that upsets just about every Australian.
I think so, Nick.
I don't think that's fair. I think, look, just on Malcolm Turnbull, and as a traditional, I should put my cards on the table here. Traditionally, I've always voted Labor. But when Malcolm Turnbull was potentially a choice going to that next federal election, I think you'll find that a lot of people that would traditionally vote Labor would go Malcolm Turnbull.
Yeah.
So he is very much like, and just Walter, on his polls and what Scott was saying, on his polls, he has done extremely well. He's a very, very popular leader with both Labor and Liberal. as a preferred Prime Minister. It's just Tony Abbott was the preferred opposition leader. He was the leader that was going to take them through tough times, times of war. And what's actually happened in the last 16 months is that we've seen a man that hasn't been able to get out of opposition leader mode. He's just really not delivered.
A lot of people have said that.
Yeah, and it's hurting.
Peter, good evening.
Yeah, how you going?
Good, thanks. You want to join in the conversation tonight on the leadership debate?
Yeah, I do, actually. I think some people, like, I'm a cabbie and I get a lot of people in the cab and I listen to a lot of people and talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a misunderstanding from what people have told me and the way that the spin is. People didn't actually vote for Abbott. They voted against the Labor Party. The reason they voted against the Labor Party was because they changed the person they voted for.
Yeah, a bit like what's happened in Queensland. They didn't so much vote for Labor, they just voted against Campbell Newman.
Yeah, big time. I'm actually in Queensland. They voted against Campbell Newman. They voted against the assets, against the asset sale.
Yeah.
And as far as the Rudd thing went, well, yeah, people voted for him and they got their nose pulled out of joint when his own party, his own organisation, said, your vote doesn't count. We've decided we don't like this guy anymore. We're kicking him out and we're putting someone else in. And people's opinion was, it doesn't matter what we do, they're not listening to us.
Okay,
So
you're spot on, Peter. We often feel that way with our politicians. You know what I reckon, Peter? I reckon we should have a cabbie for Prime Minister. What do you reckon?
Well, at least we listen to people.
Exactly, mate. At least you listen to people. We'll take a break. More of Midweek Media Review in just a moment with Nick Hayes. And your calls on 13 13 32.
Hello, it's Ian Skippin. I want to talk to you about the 4BC Magnificent Mediterranean Cruise, setting sail in September. We are going on board MSC cruises. We're leaving Venice. We're going down the Dalmatian coast. We're doing Istanbul and Turkey. We're doing the Greek islands, including Santorini, which takes its name from Saint Irene, the most beautiful one, or the circular one. That's only part of it. You'd love to know more. You can find out more by booking at TravelRight 1-800-630-343, 1-800-630-343.
4BC's Our Brisbane.
The official Bris Asia Festival opening up party is on Friday night at Redcliffe Place in the city. Also enjoy traditional Japanese music in the Japanese Garden at the Mount Cootha Botanical Gardens on Sunday. Celebrate World Wetlands with a free guided walk through Boondall Wetlands this weekend. The State Equestrian Centre home show is on this weekend. And find out about your future at the Psychic Fair on at the Redlands Christian Spiritual Centre on Saturday. To find out more, 4bc.com.au.
Reliable late model earth-moving equipment. Contact Brooks Hire on 1300 Brooks. Loaders, excavators, dump trucks, rollers, dozers, graders, telehandlers, water trucks, service trucks, tip trucks, and more. Brooks Hire has equipment for any job. Brooks Hire has branches in Brisbane, Dalby and Mackay, plus branches across Australia. And remember, for all hires over $300, you automatically go into the draw to win a brand new Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Visit brookshire.com.au.
If you have denture problems, loose, broken or missing teeth, or you've been told that you're not a candidate for dental implants, you may be suitable for All on 4 from the Marlow Clinic, Brisbane. You can find out Friday the 13th of February at 10 a.m. at a free information seminar about this pioneering new technology. Beautiful, permanent new teeth can be yours now. Simply register at maloclinicbrisbane.com.au or call 3229 9333 for more information.
When Dad passed away, I knew exactly what we needed. A funeral company focused on looking after us and not their shareholders. As a not-for-profit funeral company, Logan Funerals have a professional team who genuinely cared about us. There was no pushy upsell, just the funeral service we wanted. And they support the local community. Dad would have liked that.
Logan Funerals, pursuing excellence, not profits. Visit loganfunerals.com.au.
Warm, worldly, and wonderfully wicked. Walter Williams. He's all the W's and so much more.
Latest news just 3 minutes away, and then after that, stand by. We're going to be talking about World Cancer Day today, and what the heck is that? It's a song quiz. That's what we're playing tonight, and some terrific prizes, DVDs and CDs up for grabs. Nick Hayes with me right now, and we are looking at the Midweek Media Review, getting lots of calls on the political debate that we obviously had to have because there's so many calls coming through on this issue. We're talking of the leadership challenge in Australia. Paul, we'll let you have the final word on that this hour from Albury Wodonga. Good evening. You're listening to us through 2AY with a high of 31 tomorrow and a sunny day to look forward to, Paul.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yourself?
Yeah, I was well.
Now, do you think our politicians are stuffing us around, do you?
They've been doing it for about 20 years, as far as I'm concerned.
At least.
And, you know, I'm nearly 70,
yeah.
But it doesn't, you know, it does matter, but why is it that everybody's against them? Like, I've never heard anybody say he was a good Prime Minister, he was a good Prime Minister, he was a good leader, and then they all fight between themselves, mate.
What about John Howard as a leader? In recent times, John Howard.
Well, John done a good job.
See? You found one.
But I'm saying he lasted longer than the rest. That's why I'm saying it.
And he didn't know when to call it quits. That was the problem with John.
You know, you're like, I still love old Bob Hawke and going back being in it.
Going back even further. Yeah. We've had some very colourful characters over the years. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for the call from Albury tonight. Just wrapping things up here, Nick, let's move away from that debate. The Asian Cup, just quickly. What does this mean for soccer? And are the other codes nervous after the Socceroos win?
Look, the Asia Cup was sensational, and it was something there that Australia did a beautiful job putting on an amazing and wonderful tournament. And the result, well, we couldn't have dreamed of a better result. And it's Australia's best result in the World Game. Look, there'll be a lot of nervous executives amongst the NRL. There'll be a lot of nervous executives amongst the AFL because, let's face it, soccer...
There were a lot of nervous fans on Saturday night.
Well, it's nervous, and this is our best achievement that we've ever done on the big stage in the big World Game. But the thing is, soccer, it's non-contact. Yeah. It's got everything. You've got a player there, that Timmy Cahill, who has just moved over to China, is going to get paid $10 million a year.
Wow, and so he should be.
So he should be, but that is almost the entire NRL team's entire paycheck.
The budget, I know. We'll have to leave it there, Nick. Thanks for having a chat, mate. We might expand that another night.
We'll talk next week.
Good on you, mate. Nick Hayes, our Midweek Media Review, our media commentator from the media stable with us, and seconds away from the latest news, and still to come tonight. It's frightening to think how large